Hello, and welcome back to my Comprehending Consciousness series. My name is Allie from amariespeaks.com, and I am offering this series sort of like an educational, maybe informational, quick videos, 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes a little more, depending if the topic is really deep. Basically as like bridging the gap here between those who are newly waking up and those of us who have maybe been part of the conscious community for quite a while, right? Um, there is this beautiful ascension happening, right? And it has been happening, for decades. And lots of us have been ahead of the curve, and we've been working, seeking new solutions, and attempting to build or create possible buildings outside of this really constrained 3D matrix that we all have found ourselves so deeply embedded in at this time and space, right? So if you're just waking up to that, welcome. You're not alone and you're not crazy. If you've been awake for a while to the nonsense of the 3D, but maybe you're just waking up maybe to your spiritual journey or the fact that you could be on an evolutional path with like your soul for ultimate purpose, lessons of some kind, right? This series is totally for people like that as well. We're all, at different levels, and even for those of us who have been awake for a while, right? Or have like been doing this, new age kind of movement, metaphysical stuff, I really feel these videos are really important for all of us to just pull back the layers of surface layers, especially of these quick definitions and often misconceptions that we're placing on a lot of these terms and phrases from the New Age community. So if you haven't seen any of my episodes previously, 1 through 15, I definitely suggest going through and taking a look at them. I made them sort of sequentially. They build just on conscious awareness, but they're more than definitely able to be freestanding. So if one phrase really sparks your curiosity and you want to take a look at it, don't feel like you would have to watch previous episodes. It can be helpful to build a knowledge base, but also, I really make these videos to be able to, for anybody and everybody, hopefully, to just be able to do one and watch and done. Or jump in the middle and not be totally lost, right? So today's episode is 16 already, and I'm going to be talking about twin flames. Now, for those of us who are more consciously aware of lots of the conversations out there that have been taking place over these many years, right? This concept of twin flames has really kind of been up and down. It's caught fire, and then it dwindles, and then it resurfaces, and then it settles back down within like the mainstream, within like pop culture or influencers on social media and these kind of things. It can sort of be tied to or understood through the concept of soulmates. However, twin flames really are a deeper, catalytic, evolutionary partnership that is more complex than soulmates. And some people will disagree, and some people will say they're the same thing, they're just different terms. And, everybody's free to feel the way that they would like to feel. I'm not trying to say, like, it has to be this or that. This is a teaching experience, right? Like I've said in so many episodes, it's like a buffet table of information that I have already gathered. I'm not stressing whether you like it or not. I love to collect information. I love to talk and gather. So that's what I'm doing here. And if you like it, take it. If you don't, then don't. That simple. Nobody's watching you to see what you grab and what you don't. Nobody's assessing your plate and critiquing what you have in front of you. Your choices are yours, and only you are affected by them. And only you eat what you've chosen on your plate from the buffet table, right? Um, so keep it in mind and approach things with an open mind. When I'm making the distinction, I really want to call into play here these little nuances, right? The definition between soulmates and twin flames. Um, I like to personally keep them very separate and make a distinction between them because soulmates is such a 3D word. It's been around for so long. The concept is really embedded in romance. Um, it's really deep-seated in ego and in the sacral chakra, dysfunctioning, imbalancing. It comes with a lot of um, parameters and sharp edges, I feel like, that have just been there, placed over society and in cultures, across a lot of time. And when we have really deeply rooted words like that within like the 3D matrix structuring, um, I feel personally that it's best to leave those words as they are and let them be what they are and reside in that lower space and vibrations and a little bit more harnessed down, right? So that it allows us to remember the falsities of it, of the pretexts, right? And to say, well, soulmates has a lifespan on it. Soulmates, to the societal view, is something that's inside romance novels. It's the perfect couple. It's somebody who's best suited for your desires. It's your meeting your perfect match. That's like soulmate realm thing, right? And it's very subjective. It's based deeply on almost superficial level emotions, right? Um, most of the time. And so that's why I just say, yeah, we can just leave that word as it is. It's a great word for romance novels. It's a great working for people who, are heavily lassoed into the 3D and who just want to hold on to a sparkly feeling of best versions of couples and, kind of those false conceptions that you could get into a relationship where everything's hunky-dory and happy all the time, and they just do everything that's good, that feels good to you, and they know all your wants and they give them to you, and they only see the best things of you, and they tell you how beautiful you are every day, and you can never make a mistake in their eyes, or those kinds of expectations we place on soulmates um, presently and in the near past. Excuse me again. Let those lie where they are with that whole soulmate word. And bring in, and this is why I love the twin flame word, because it has a mystery to it. It has magic to it. And also, I love that it encompasses that idea of twin flames, like lighting each other up, catching each other for fire, right? It also has, for me, whenever I hear flames, fire, I think, burning away, detoxing, casting out that which no longer serves. It reminds me of alchemy and smithing and forging in fire, right? It's an intensity of emotions and a newness also that I feel that fire in itself like really embodies. And the twin flame, it really, to me, it helps us to work to open up what this best version of ourselves could look like, open up, what having a partner in life and in this journey means, and also looking inside of ourselves at the feminine and masculine aspects of our own self, right? And what we can do um, to balance those two inside of each other, inside of yourself, right? For each other. Now, I've already passed 10 minutes and I like to keep these ones really short. So, um, first and foremost, if you want a quick deep dive or you would love to learn more about twin flames, I personally really resonate with Jen McCartney, who is a beautiful soul. I've been following her for quite a few years, and she was so ahead of the curve on this last uptake of kind of like the sparking of twin flames, right? When it caught fire more in the mainstream and in the influencers realm and in society, right? Pop culture and all of that. She was really a forerunner in that, writing books and speaking about it, receiving downloads and wonderful inspirations long before it's come into like the mainstream eye now. I'll link her channel below, and she has wonderful books and videos, which really go into the whole journey and what twin flames mean, not just on a personal level and in finding your own in your own life, but what it means for the collective, what it means for humanity's ascension, what it means for Earth Gaia's ascension, right? It's so deep, and it's really something you've got to commit to some time to listening to, you know? So I won't get into it right now, but I will link her stuff below. Cautions, word of caution, before anybody goes typing this into social medias or search engines or whatever. There's a lot of fluff and a lot of crust out there that will try to relasso you into that more soulmates definition of twin flames. So be wary of what you're listening to, and assess it with honesty, right? Does this feel honest to me? Does this feel organic and natural? Is there room for growth, or is this stagnating us in like a Barbie Ken box together, in like untouchable, no mistakes can be made, perfect faces and smiles all the time kind of fakeness to it? Because that is not that's not real, right? That is a distortion and a delusion. So what does it mean for real then, right? What does twin flame, or what can twin flames really mean? If you like the concept of past lives and tribes and seeing Earth as a school or a journey we come down to learn lessons with, maybe with family units or groups that come together, soul groups, to learn lessons, right? Some people believe we sign contracts with these people beforehand, or we plan these lessons out. So twin flames fall into this kind of alignment of thinking, right? That there's an ultimate plan, that there's some contractual basis beforehand, and that twin flames will be drawn to each other like magnetic polar opposites are drawn to each other, right? In the drawing and in the connection, there are different types of relationships that we get into here with twin flames. We can have twin flames that are catalytic. They're almost like your perfect polar opposite. And when you get together, you almost like a sword and a stone, right? Like when you're sharpening a blade on that stone. That kind of work is what catalytic twin flames can really get involved in. Sometimes it can almost be combative, especially if people aren't doing a lot of the work. You know, if you are really bogged down in negativity and these harder alignments and polarities, you two could be very volatile together. You know, it's not always a happy, feel-good type of relationship. There can be really tough lessons there. There can be hurt and pain. Just like sharpening a sword is really dangerous, hard work with lots of friction, right? But in that, the after effects is the result, is the reasoning that you two have got together and you'll see it afterwards for what it is, you know. Um, Other types of twin flames can be that real nurturing, um, unconditional, accepting love and support type of relationship where you two know this journey around is to be a service to each other in support and in love. And it can be that kind of relationship where you just click, just you feel right, you just get it. Could have known each other for forever, you feel like. And you see each other's faults for what they are, and you nurture them in a guiding way to try, like a sculpture, to chisel away a bit, but in the nice way, in a very careful, artistic way that helps define the beauty within them at the same time, right? Very caring, confident way. We can have twin flame relationships that are not direct romantic relationships. Twin flames can be a more soul lesson karmatic based relationship, like a professor, a mentor, a guide, a shaman, a grandfather, a father, a mother, grandmother, whatever. And these twin flame souls are brought together to create something more in an intellectual basis, more of a creational bringing down into lower densities manifestations together, right? This in that working can also get into the beautiful sacred masculine and feminine kundalini and a tantric side of it, right? That can be a beautiful experience as well, a real harnessing of that kind of sacred sexual energy, which can be a huge harness of manifesting all types of beautiful things if you do the work correctly and carefully, right? So I'm getting a little longer than I wanted to get here, but I think I've kind of harnessed in these different kinds of relationships here and the major difference between soulmates and what we see as this misconception of the twin flame offering out there, kind of in the social realm of it being like perfect versions of ourselves, your best couple, you know, you're the man of your dreams or the woman of your dreams, you know. And those types of ideas and conceptions are actually really negatively based and self-serving, you know, and you're entrapping yourself into a future where you'll be unhappy with whoever you do end up with. If instead you could see these twin flame relationships or the seeking of your twin flame as not another half to complete and make whole, but more of, you know, an incorporation that's going to provide more working for you, to offer points where you can more deeply define yourself and explore more deeply how those definitions interact with your twin flame or with others around you, you know. Going into that kind of relationship with more open expectations is really what hopefully I'm going to be inspiring and more people are going to be waking up to as we get further into this ascension and more of the collective starts to kind of shift over into more of new age thinking versus the old parameters, the stiff matrix. And finally here, I just want to add really quickly in before I close this video about the last ideas of twin flame that I really enjoy and love and has worked so great for self-love, shadow work, light work, empowering myself in my own journey, is working with the inner masculine and feminine within yourself to create a twin flame relationship there and respect it and embody it, explore it, and feel for yourself what it feels like to become your own soulmate, to feel and allow the exploration of feeling complete all on your own, knowing that you do embody perfectly and divinely both halves of the whole. Just being a human being, we are. It doesn't matter what your physical vessel is embodying and looking like at this present moment, you know? We all embody the essences of both. And this journey is a beautiful, harmonious seeking of balance of those two. So I love to take time to envision my heart center, right? And this beautiful throne inside my heart center where my divine masculine, my twin flame, divine male half sits, you know, in presence always, and in divine placement, and untainted there. And then I allow, you know, from the rest of my essence and my physical being and my embodiment of my sacred divine feminine, right, to take the escalator down, the elevator down into my heart center and sit with the king in there and, you know, give myself a hug in there and say, yeah, we're doing it, we're worthy. We are honing and toning each other. What do you need? You know, sometimes it's a great working where you can get in there and ask each other what they need and see how those aspects might be overreacting or clawing at each other to make you change or make you do this, or, you know, seek out a different perspective of why one has reacted this way, or why one is perturbed by something, or sad or lonely, or you know, feeling disconnected too. Get in there and have a great conversation with each other. I'm sorry I've neglected you. I'm here for you now, you know? So yeah, I think I'll close with that beautiful metaphorical twin flame that we can all work to embody within ourselves. So thank you so much for joining me on episode 16 of Comprehending Consciousness. Like I said at the beginning, if you haven't seen other episodes, check out the ones before if you've got the time. And if not, maybe I'll see you around on the next episode, 17, where I'm going to be talking about self-love. So yeah, in the meantime, you can always find me over on Telegram under A. Marie Speaks, or YouTube or BitChute. Find me right on my website, amariespeaks.com. Or hey, if you like to listen to podcasts, you can find me over on Spotify, A. Marie Speaks as well, where I do lots of podcasts on all different types of ramblings. So feel free to find me over there in the meantime as well. So thank you so much again for joining me, and I will catch you next time.